Hi, everyone. I'm Steve. I'm here with Brian Sanchez, who is a personal trainer at Parkway Athletic Club in Carson City, Nevada. Thanks for being here, Brian.
Glad to be here, Steve. And guess what, Steve? You're a good looking dude. I'm
Thank
just
you.
saying, you are fit and you are classic. Go
You
ahead,
know,
my
he
bad.
knows I'm fired up. You listen, he knows I'm fired up right now.
Everybody, I'm pushing buttons, not hitting on them. Go ahead, Steve.
Because, look, I think fat shaming people is horrible,
It is.
and I'm not into it. I'm not an advocate of that. You might be more than me, but I'm just not. But let's clarify some things. There are some people. Now, the reason this topic is coming up is because I asked a question on my social media, and it gets to my Facebook page where my friends are, my high school friends, the baby boomers, you know, and I'm 63, and I'm fit. I'm fit for a 63-year-old. I have no visceral fat. I'm healthy. I won't get into all my numbers, but they're all good. Blood pressure, I take no medications. And so I'm being called judgmental because I asked a question. Here's the question. And the question is, if someone is overweight, they're obese, and they can't fit in one chair on an airline, should they be given a second one, or should they have to pay? What if I want to take my bag? How come I don't get it? This is so twisted. It just seems like culture these days is so twisted. Hey, I want 2 seats. I don't need 2 seats, but I'd like to have 2 seats. I can put some stuff there. All I'm saying, if somebody needs or wants 2 seats, should they have to pay for it? What do you think, Brian? And I got a lot to say about this, so stay tuned.
Well, I do, because, boy, I wouldn't mind having two seats. I don't view myself as, I'm a heavy set person, but I don't feel myself as in a situation to where I should be crossing over into two seats, let's just say on a airline. But if I fly coach on an airline, because of my shoulders and the exterior side of my shoulders coming in, I do go into the seat next to me. When I put my arms down me, so I have to sit like this, and they don't afford me the opportunity to buy a second ticket, or I should say, get a free seat because of my body size. And I don't take offense to that. But at the same time, if somebody does have a situation in which they are rather wide and they're out of condition and out of shape, look, I get it that we don't want to hurt or harm them. I mean, we don't want to embarrass them or shame them. I think that's awful. But I do think that if your body's that size, kind of like me, if I wanted two seats, which is great, but you got to pay for it. Or guess what? Go up to the expensive seats where you can get more room, and that's one of the things that we've started to do as we travel, Steve.
So let's just talk about some of the things, the accusations and stuff. Anyone who watches this channel knows, you watch it very much, I'm on TRT. I'm on 90 milligrams now, 90 milligrams a week. That is a dinky amount. These bodybuilders and people that are abusing steroids, they're on 600 milligrams, pushing themselves way out of a normal zone. I have a normal testosterone. So one of the things that really bugs me, and I have a lot to say about the obese people. I mean, maybe I should start with that before I get to the TRT and the things that people say about that, is that, look, I am very aware, and I have a heart for people that struggle with their weight, because there's some people who are obese who really try hard, and it's not fair. They eat hardly nothing. They look at food, they gain weight. Their hormones are messed up, and they try really hard. So it's very unfair to judge people that are overweight because you don't know the situation. They might be trying really hard. Now, is that rare? Probably. Because most people, and here's where I get fired up, are fat because they eat way too much. Yeah, I know you think that's funny. Now, People say, oh, you've always been thin. Oh, you're on TRT. You know what? If I ate what I wanted to eat, I love donuts. If I ate all the things that I wanted to eat, I could double my dose of TRT. And if I ate what I wanted to eat, and I went to sports bars and drank beer and watched football games, which I love to do. I love to do that. It's Thursday night. I want to go to a sports bar and slam some beers and watch the football game. I would be a fat ass. Obesity is 25% body fat for men. The average body fat for men is 28%. That's disgusting. And everybody does not have the excuse that they're really trying hard and they've got a hormone issue or whatever. Most people don't. Now, the reason I'm so against fat shaming is because what if there's 1 out of 10 people that are really trying? You can't just fat shame everybody, even though 90% of you lard asses need to be fat shamed. And I know that may sound abrasive and not like that coming from me, but I work to be healthy, to keep my blood pressure where it's supposed to be. I'm in the gym for an hour and a half every day. I eat nearly perfectly. So don't tell me I got good genetics or I'm on TRT and that's why you've always been thin, because that's not accurate. I would be huge. If I wanted to weigh 250, I could do it very quickly. All right, go ahead. You can laugh at me now.
Look, uh, I completely understand what Steve's saying, everybody, and it's not a thing of whether or not I don't think he's here to shame people, even though he's a little fired up, because I think the attacks got personal for you, Steve. With that said,
A little bit. When you say I look the way or I have the health that I have, just because I was born that way. I'm friggin' 63 years old. I was born 63 years ago.
well, for those,
How I was in high school has nothing to do with how I look now. And I've had to scrap and fight for every pound of muscle that I've put on. So all I'm saying is don't point at me and say, you're fit because of this. Look, I'm not going to fat shame you, but don't healthy fitness shame me.
well, and I think it goes both ways, because I think you get a little bit of both in society where, um, there is some shaming of those who are fit, and there is some shaming of those who are obese. It's the way people are. As you know, in society today, people can't keep their opinions to themselves. And if people bring opinions up, people get fired up at each other and they want to attack. With that said, look, we embrace anybody that comes into our systems here. Anybody that wants to join us at the Parkway, we're going to take you in. We don't care what you look like, how you look, why you look the way you look. We are here to help you and help you move forward in life. But I think it's really important to understand from a fitness side of things, none of this is simple. And when people attack the idea that we've been granted special privilege because we, hey, like me, work at a gym. Oh, you only look the way you do, Brian, because you work at a gym. Well, if I worked at a gym all the time, and I should probably be 30, 40 pounds lighter. You know what I mean? It's not because we're doing something special or because we can afford to be on age management programs or we're utilizing testosterone, things like this. We've taken the time in life to make that important for us, because we know one thing, the number one thing for anybody, whether you're thin, morbidly obese, in the middle, the number one thing you can do for longevity in life, in my opinion, is to strength and condition train. In other words, work your muscularity and work your bone density. You have to have that in your life. It doesn't mean lift pounding weights, but you have to move. And that's something that has to be taught. And for a lot of people, it doesn't sound like a fun thing to do, so they don't do it. And there's a good portion of the population that never hits a gym, never exercises, and they just work through life, and then they can't figure out why they are the way they are. It's important to understand that it takes tremendous effort. And I'm going to stick up for Steve in this realm. I see him in here all the time at our facility training. I know that he trains at his other clubs as well. But it takes daily work. I myself, If I'm in here working 3 days a week, uh, uh, I'm also working out at least 4 to 5 days a week. And then I go from here to my other little part-time gig I have as a retired guy, and I'm physical all day in a masonry yard picking up stones and chucking them like Fred Flintstone, right? So the physicality and the work and the energy that you're putting into it directly reflects how your body's going to operate. Now, if you're one of those small percentages where you have medical conditions that doesn't allow you to lose weight or causes you to hold on to fatty substances, it's a small population. But if you're one of those people, I pray for you because I know that you're trying. I know that you're working hard and I know you're trying to do your best. But for those that want to scream and yell because they think they're protecting others by saying things and being ridiculous towards Steve because he's got a question that he merely pointed out, he didn't get his body for free. Even when you look at, and Steve and I were talking about some of this stuff, even when you look at the bodybuilders out there, and the people want to say, the professionals, oh, they just look that way because they're on steroids. Well, no, they don't. When they were natural, they were incredibly fit. Steroids volumize their muscles. Yes, it works. Yes, you probably might want to think about not using that stuff. I'm not a fan of it myself. Please don't suggest that I am. But the effort that it takes, even when they're on those products, because they're taking, like Steve says, they're taking 500 milligrams of testosterone and they're stacking it with Deca and Tren and a few other things. And they're putting these cocktails together and they're putting this stuff into their body. That doesn't make them grow. They have to now go into the gym and they now have to work, several hours a day to include an immaculate eating system to gain the gains that they want to be world class athletes. You may not agree with the steroid use. You may not, that's fine, but it's not something that's gifted to them. They're making the personal decisions to use these products, but they also have to dedicate their lifestyle to it to get that growth that they want to be competitive. Even the natural wink wink, the natural weightlifting people, which we actually have some on staff, natural bodybuilders, the work they have to put in to get that pristine body. It's 100% management of nutrition. It's 100% management of all their bodies to get where they need to be successful, even as an amateur to be competitive. So none of this comes for free. And I get that. So when we're talking about people who are oversized, who have larger waists, who are carrying weight around the midriff, the neck, the chest, the buttocks, we understand that it's hard to move forward sometimes and that it's hard to get out of your yesterday and that you may have some conditions that exist. But we also understand that if we just get you moving, we're going to make tomorrow a better place for you and we can help you do that. And hopefully that kind of puts some of that point of view for the listeners out there today so that you're not all picking on my boy Steve just because he asked a question. We're in a time in society right now where we need to be cognizant that it's okay to have a differing opinion. I get it, but it doesn't mean you go on the frontal attack. And please, by no means think that Steve looks as gorgeous as he does because he just sits around looking pretty. He actually works at it. Steve?
Yeah, I could ask the question a different way. If a bodybuilder goes on a flight and his shoulders are so big and so wide, he's so wide that he needs 2 seats, should he be given a free seat or should he have to pay for it?
I bet you Thor has to pay for two. I bet you Brian Shaw has to pay for two. I bet you Eddie Hall has to pay for two. Look these up, people. These are tremendous athletes that are twice the size of me. And I'm a pretty decent sized guy. I'm short, but I'm talking 6'4", 6'5", chests of probably well over 60. They got to pay for their seats.
These guys need 3 seats.
Yeah.
So I'm just saying, should that huge bodybuilder have to pay for the seat? And I am not into being mean to anybody. I like fair, I like justice, and I want everybody in the club. And if you go into a gym, especially one of ours, most of the people, that means over half of the people that go in the gym are overweight. But you know what? They're in the gym doing something about it. They're trying, and their hormones might be off. They might have messed up metabolism. They may be having a horrible time trying to figure it out. But I'm the first guy that's going to give them an attaboy or an attagirl. Hey, I'm glad you're in here. Don't give up. Keep being here. They get that from me all the time because I respect it. And
If
you
Steve
know,
didn't like people who are overweight in his facility, he would have never hired me. I am overweight, everybody. I know it, but I try to manage it and I do my best. And I know I have to work hard at it every day. Steve?
yeah, it's not easy. But to say, I just see that as an excuse, as saying, "Oh, you're on TRT." They have no idea. My testosterone is normal. It's not high. I'm not on gear. This is not steroids. Steroids are completely different. I have a normal testosterone level, period. That's all. But when people say, you look like this, or they're saying that the reason I'm fat is because I'm not on TRT. Well, go ahead and get on TRT. You keep doing what you're doing. You can take all the testosterone you want. You're still going to be fat. And
You know,
that's just a fact.
I think that's an interesting point. And the reason I say that is if you take like a testosterone, or let's just say you decide to choose to use SARMs, or you decided in life that you want to use steroids or human growth hormone or some of these products, understand if you just take this and you don't work your muscularity and you don't work on, trying to develop your bone density stuff, it's not going to do anything for you in the sense of volumizing your body or trimming you down. You might lose a few pounds maybe because your metabolism might adjust a little bit, but it's not going to create this body of cuts and you're not going to look like Arnold Schwarzenegger from the 1980s. It won't happen that way when you take these products. You have to, and I'm a testosterone user, I'm not afraid to say that. And for me, just like Steve, it brings me up to normal levels. Um, and I think everybody should consider it as long as it's okay with your doctor. Don't do it illegal. Um, if you use the products and you do nothing with the products, you're going to stay the same. If you use the products and you put in the physical effort and the nutritional effort, your body will change. It's not a magic substitute to get you thin.
Here's the bottom line. You can even go work out till you're blue in the face. If you're putting junk in your pie hole, you're going to be fat. That's just how it is. Go work out all you want. Go run marathons. If you eat 12 donuts every day and junk junk food, you're going to be fat. So it's about what you put in your pie hole. That's 80% of it. So I'm done ranting. Guys, let me know what you think. I get ripped into all the time. I get called a Karen. I've been called skinny. I've been called fat. I get called old man. Shut up, old man. You're fat. Shut up, old man. You're skinny. Shut up, Karen. So I don't care. I think it's funny. I always read them to my wife when I get shredded like that, and she laughs too. But let's just say if you're interested in TRT, there's a link in the description for Royal Medical. There's a promo code there. I think it's Vitality1. You can find out about it or use a different clinic because for your health, I want people to be healthy. I want them to exercise. I want their hormones right, and I want them to eat right. And you know what? That takes discipline. That takes discipline. Wimps aren't going to do it. It takes discipline. You can check out that link. If you want to know more about our weight loss program, I want to encourage people to put the effort in, to be disciplined, to change your health. And it takes changing your lifestyle. It's not just getting on TRT or doing bench press every week. That's not it. You need to change your lifestyle. We talked about that. There's a code on the screen. If you want to know more about our weight loss program, use that QR code, or there should be a link in the description also. So, any last thoughts, Brian?
No, just be open, everybody, to everything out there. Don't be quick to judge. Let's change society together. Let's be good to each other. Thanks, Steve.
Right. And you know what? Get in the gym. You can do it. It might take years to improve your health, but you can do it. I don't care if you're 50, 60, 70, 80, you can do it. It's so exciting what I see every day in the gym. People getting healthier, feeling better with a smile on their face. And not everybody gets down to 15% body fat if you're a man, or not everyone gets, down to 22 or 23% if you're a woman. And for women, it's harder. You got more hormones moving around. There's more moving parts. It's hard. I'm just saying, try it. Start slow, like we always say. Get in there and get healthy. Brian, I will talk to you next time.
See you soon. Take care, everybody.